Hey everyone, TS Kalunga again. Welcome back. We're starting a new video series today. This one's geared more towards writers than readers. If you have any sort of writer's block or don't know where to start writing, these videos are for you. We're going to be using the deck of worlds today and creating a whole new setting with hooks and events to get your juices flowing, and hopefully you'll come up with a story. If you do, I would love to hear it. Let's get started. First up, as always, is the region card. And we have a basin, landmark, a creek, or a monument. I'm kind of thinking creek right now. Let's do the creek. We can always go back and change it. And if you have a notebook, you can follow along and write your own options right there if you want. You don't have to follow along with me exactly. Next up is a namesake card. Now, if you remember, these can be used for both the region and the landmark. We have the Green Basin or Creek, the Basin of Independence or Creek of Independence, of Flies, Basin of Flies or Creek of Flies, or Where Heaven and Earth Meet. And again, if none of these cards work, if you have the deck of worlds at home, you can always choose different cards. I'm going to do the Creek of Flies. I think that could be interesting. But I also want to give the basin a name because I would like to expand on this and have this as a series. So let's come up with a name for the basin. The Basin of Lies, the God-Touched Basin, the Basin of Ink, or the Basin Beyond Hope. Ooh, I kind of like that. The Basin Beyond Hope with the Creek of Flies. Next up is the origin card. Originally a temporary settlement, built on stolen land, site of an ancient conspiracy, or was once covered in moss. I'm going to say site of an ancient conspiracy for the Creek of Flies. Maybe that's why it's called the Creek of Flies. Maybe there was a lot of dead bodies there, or a lot of rot of some sort because of this ancient conspiracy. The attribute card is next. It's a ritual site. It's run by the military. They're known for a vegetarian diet, or they have beautiful grasses. I'm going to say the basin has beautiful grasses right here. Now this is where we start to get interesting with the deck of worlds, is the Advent card. We can always go back and change things, but the Advent card is what gets us the hook. The story. Mysterious sounds are being heard at night, or a populist leader is gaining power through dangerous rhetoric. Both of these could be interesting. A populist leader is gaining power through dangerous rhetoric. Mysterious sounds are being heard at night. I think the Creek of Flies, that has the site of an ancient conspiracy. Mysterious sounds are being heard at night. Maybe the ancient conspiracy is coming back. Maybe there's something going on right there. This, in and of itself, can give us a story. What is going on in the basin? We can add another advent if we want, or give it another origin. I think I want to give another origin to the basin. Site of a famous protest, founded on a joke or dare, traded by warring nations, or former grasslands. Ooh, I'd say site of a famous protest could go along with the ancient conspiracy. Or maybe the protest is going on now again because of those weird sounds. Now, if you notice, sometimes the cards are a little bit hard to maneuver, especially if you have card protectors on them. It is totally fine if they're not entirely straight, if they're crooked like this. As long as you can read it, as long as you remember what's going on, everything's okay. Now, the deck of worlds, you can have one-off setting right here. You can have several settings. You can have it sprawling across the size of Middle Earth. You can have it as small as a city. It's really up to you and your imagination. Now, I do like this Basin Beyond Hope, but if it's Beyond Hope, I feel like we need another region. So let's build the other region. And if you're making multiple regions, if you have the tabletop space for it, you can always move these around. So right now, the basin is in the west, we're building out the east. New region card. A glacier. Okay. The glacier could feed into the basin, so maybe it's a little bit more up north than the rest. Next up is the landmark card. We have a temple or a point, and I'm loving the temple idea. A temple near a glacier just sounds ominous and awesome to me. The namesake card, the red glacier or red temple, the glacier of the sky or glacier of the temple of the sky or glacier of the sky, of chimes, without regret. The Temple of Chimes. I like that. Maybe since it's so high up in the mountains, maybe there's chimes everywhere of maybe fallen soldiers or monks or bones, or it could be as simple as wind chimes. Let's find out. Should we give the glacier a name? I'm not feeling a glacier. The glacier needs a name right now because I feel like the temple is probably more important right now. So let's continue building on that. We have the origin card, and this one, a wonder of the ancient world, founded by performers, name has unknown origins, or shaped by colonialism. I think this might be a wonder of the ancient world, and it could go back to the ancient conspiracy. I really like how this is starting to connect with each other, and we're having a world having a world come together, come to life. And next up would be an attribute card. Let's give the glacier an attribute as well as the temple on this one, because I feel like the glacier is missing out on some, even though we're trying to focus on the temple. We have a cooperative government, home of a reclusive writer, abundant variety of species. We're known for love of games. I think I'm going to choose a home of a reclusive writer for the glacier. Maybe somewhere in the mountains and on the glacier, there is this hermit of a writer that maybe he has magical stories. Maybe what he writes comes true. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's give another attribute to the Temple of Chimes here, though. Known for storytellers. Well, that kind of goes with the reclusive writer. Known for an animal active in the morning. Considered the threshold between worlds. Values divergent thinking. I think we're going to do consider the threshold between worlds for the temple, because maybe once we go past the temple, we're into the basin, but on the other side, we're on another region that we haven't discovered yet. And an advent. Let's see how this one goes with the other. A sudden drought could have disastrous consequences. That could be interesting because that could mean the glacier melts and could flood the entire region and even the basin. Or a prominent figure is being exposed as a fraud. Ooh, both of them could be awesome. A prominent figure like the home of a reclusive writer, and they're actually a fraud. Both of those could be good. But I really like the sudden drought idea for the glacier, because that could cause so many problems with the basin. It could go back to the site of an ancient conspiracy. Maybe the conspiracy is what got the glacier there, and now it's starting to melt away because of the drought. And that's causing mysterious sounds are being heard at night because people are trying to build back the glacier. This is coming together, and I'm really excited to see what happens here. And I know that the glacier wasn't going to be the focal point, but with the advent, it's really tying it all together, and I really like that. But if we're going to be the threshold between worlds, I think we need one more region. Right now, we've just been using the standard deck, but for the third region, we'll go ahead and use the deck of worlds, Worlds of Frost and Fable. I am going to shuffle these cards first. And as you can see, I'm not the best shuffler, but it gets the job done. Now, since we have the deck of worlds up top, I'm going to have these ones at the bottom. All right, for the last region for this video, we have snow. Okay. I'm not sure about this one, like snowy mountains then. Let's roll with it and see what we come up with. So we have snowy mountains. I'm going to say they're snowy mountains or a snowy field of some sort. Just a very Arctic snowy area. Next up would be the landmark card. A chasm or a mine. I think I'm going to do the mine. Snowy mines. Okay, so maybe this is on the eastern side of the glacier right here. The namesake that shivers, of wolves, of snows, or highest. Well, I think we can cancel out of snows. The snows of snows would be weird. I'm liking the mine of wolves. Maybe it was a former mine that wolves have taken over in. I like that idea. I kind of feel like the snowy area needs a name, so we know if it's mountains or a pasture or field of some sort. So let's give it a name. Of cracks, of lichen, of no trees, or meltwater. A lot of these could be interesting, but I kind of like of no trees or of cracks. Okay, we're going to do a snow of no trees. So maybe it's a meadow or field of some sort. Just snow everywhere as far as the eye can see. Origin. Resting place of a famous explorer. Uncovered by an avalanche, linked to an ancient heroic saga, or originally a seasonal shelter. Ooh, maybe the mine was a seasonal shelter until wolves came in. I like that idea. The attribute is next. Snow blindness hazard. Well, that's a definite plus for a snowy field right there. Extreme seasonal sunlight or darkness. Distinctive skyline or silhouette. We're known for fire worship. I like the extreme seasonal sunlight or darkness. Maybe the mountains that the glacier is on are so high that it casts the snow out into darkness for an extended period of time. I like that idea. Okay. Let's do one more attribute card for the Mine of Wolves. It could be interesting. Or for the snowy field again. We have a brief, glorious summers. Well, that would go along with what we've already discussed right there. Known for interesting echoes. Known for minimalist culture. regionally specific cured meat. Maybe the Mine of Wolves isn't actually filled with wolves. Maybe the Mine of Wolves is a dugout of some sort of an indigenous people, and they have specific cured meat, but they always wear wolf hides when they're out. And maybe a lot of people are thinking that they eat the wolves too or something. That could be interesting. I like this idea. It's shaping up really well. I like this. Next up would be the Advent card. A degrading ice sheet is causing a geological catastrophe. All mail and deliveries in and out have stopped. I like this one right here. I like it because this adds another hook that's not based around the basin right here. Something is stopping the deliveries to this people that are in the mine. Maybe nobody can find them anymore. Maybe the person who delivers the parcels or goods that they have is missing and they need to find them. Or maybe the snowy fields are now too treacherous to cross and they don't know it yet. And maybe them trying to travel west is what's causing the problems in the basin. I really like this idea. I would love to hear what you think of this. I would love to hear stories that you come up with. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you would do differently, or your stories. I would love to hear it all. If you want the deck of worlds of your own or the expansion or anything else, I will have links in the description down below as well. I'm not affiliated with them at all, so I don't get any money, but I just love this product so much, and I think it would help so many writers, especially if you had a notebook and followed along and made your own ideas with this. I can't wait until next time, but in the meantime, I can't wait even more to hear your stories. Let's hear what you got. Mine will be in the comments down below. Let's do this. Until next time, everyone.